Your work surface is going to be a sponge or some foam. I really like these thick car sponges because it's harder for your needle to hit the table and then break. Your needles are tucked into the side here, and you'll see that the needle can go in pretty far to this sponge without hitting the table. The upper 2/3 of your felting needle are safe to hold and use. The bottom third is where your pokey stabby bits are. It is quite sharp, so try not to poke yourself. You probably will, but you'll live. And then you can see these notches here. That's what actually grabs the fiber and knots it together to create your piece. This is a Clover brand felting pen. There's lots of different kinds that you can find with plastic or wooden handles and different numbers of needles in them. I like this one a lot because of the plastic covering at the end. You can make sure that your needles don't get damaged and put the cover on and throw it in a bag and not get poked. Having 3 needles in this pen makes it so that your work is done 3 times faster. We'll be using flat felt sheets and wool roving. The flat felt you can find in any store that sells craft supplies, comes in lots of different colors, and is usually made of acrylic, which is a synthetic material. The wool roving is carded and processed from sheep, and it'll come usually in a braid or a small ball, depending on how much you purchase. When creating 3-dimensional felted pieces, you can use these magic erasers as your base inside. One thing that's really great about them is that the pores are very, very small, so it's a fairly smooth and firm sponge, but has a lot of give to it still. It's also very easy to work with for cutting and carving, like with reductive sculpture. Here are 2 pieces that I've made that use magic eraser sponges as the core. The piece on the right here, the pineapple, I cut the magic eraser in half so it would be a little bit thinner and used just that. And for this ice cream here, I used 1 full magic eraser for the center and 2 half pieces for the cookies. And I actually did try to make this one with just wool roving before I found out about the magic erasers, but it turned out really wonky. The shape didn't quite hold how I wanted it to. The eye holes got particularly blown out. So this is really nice if you want a clean shape and also to use less material because the mass is taken up by the very cheap sponge.